My coverage of CES 2020 is brought to you by MSI, Thermaltake, Lian Li, and Cooler Master. Guys, I'm at EVGA now, and I'm going to talk about three things here. The first two will be quick, and then the third thing is going to be their new RTX 2060 KO Knockout Edition, which they're going to be selling for $300. More on that in just a second. So the first two things are right here. One is the motherboard. The second is the new audio, the new audio. So this is the EVGA new audio Pro Surround. If you guys saw my content last year, they made a really high-end sound card. There is the original right there. So for you audiophiles out there, it's been very well received, and the #1 request they had for it was to give it a backplate. So it's got backplates now. And you might also notice it's got a daughter card. So basically, you can get this by itself, and it's going to be a similar card to the original new audio card. You can add on this daughter board. This gives you the extra analog connections for a 7.1 setup. So it's 5.1 with just the main card, 7.1 with the add-on card. And they have also added some RGB effects across the front. Right now it's just doing a rainbow effect, but you can also use that as an equalizer display. Furthermore, on this testbed setup over here, which they have running on a loop, which is why this system is actually working, but not outputting a whole lot of heat, we got an EVGA RTX 2080 Ti for the win, and this is an Intel 3175WX. So this is the new SR3 Dark. This is made for Intel's top-end chip that is really difficult to find. So maybe locate one of those and then consider this board, because you shouldn't get the board without the chip. That wouldn't make any sense. It has 24-phase power delivery. It's got an insane amount of power inputs over here, as you can see. 4 supplemental 8-pin CPU power plugs. It's also got some liquid cooling that you can set up specifically for the VRMs, which would be very nice. This system they have going right now is just running at stock because 3175X puts out a lot of heat, and once you start to overclock it, you got to ramp up the fan speed pretty quick. And it's nice and quiet in here, and actually that's kind of how I like it. It's been a nice mellow trip to EVGA this year. Let's get back to that thing I mentioned at the beginning of the video, which is this right here, RTX 2060 Knockout Edition. This is going to be $300, and in fact, I have special exclusive information for you guys right here that you probably didn't hear in any of the other YouTube videos you might have watched about this card. That is, there's going to be a special going on starting today, Friday. I think it's going to go on for a week, where you can get the standard version of this for $279, and then there's an Ultra version of the RTX 2060 KO Ultra, and that's going to be $300. So check it out right now, limited time. Regular prices are going to be $300 and $320, and it will go back up to that once the sale ends. That should be available on Newegg. Bear in mind that the lower price one is going to be a pre-order, but it should ship out within a week, and you should listen to the rest of this video first, because big reason why this is coming out at a lower price. RTX 2060, obviously a very desirable card, gives you ray tracing support, as well as it's a good chip in there. 6 gigs of VRAM, and then there's a 2060 Super, which bumps you up to 8 gigs. But if you watched my coverage of AMD earlier in the week, then you probably know that the RX 5600 XT is also coming out within a couple weeks. That's going to be $279.99 or $280, and it's going to be right in the wheelhouse of this card. So according to EVGA, this should beat it pretty handily. Of course, you should probably wait for independent reviews to verify that. I don't have any reason to disbelieve them, but it's always best to wait for the independent reviews. My questions were, first off, how did EVGA bring the price of this down by about $50? And they have made some changes. They're using sleeve-bearing fans, for example. They're using fewer layers on the PCB, which cuts down on the manufacturing costs. It's essentially using the same heatsink fan setup that the 1660 Ti uses, but it's still got a nice feature set for a $300 card. They still have included a backplate, so I appreciate that. I/O is an HDMI, DisplayPort, and a dual-link DVI. But I had some other questions about the card as well. First off, is EVGA special in this ability to sell an RTX 2060 for $300? They don't know. I'm assuming that there might be other vendors that are also going to be bringing in some RTX 2060s for reduced prices. That is completely unconfirmed. That's just my speculation, because I think it would be a little bit weird if suddenly EVGA can sell an RTX 2060 for $300 and none of the other vendors can. Another huge question is availability. How many of these will actually be available for sale? There's going to be benchmark reviews coming out on the 5600 XT soon, and I'm sure NVIDIA would much more prefer if the RTX 2060 was listed with a $300 price tag rather than $350. That will make them look much better when it comes to price to performance comparisons, but if it's just a limited amount of supply of these cards that suddenly dries up after that launch and the prices go back to $350, well, that would suck. Since this video is going up on Sunday, I was able to double check Newegg listings, and they are both up there, the 2060 KO and 2060 KO Ultra, for $280 and $300 respectively. They're pre-orders. They're supposed to ship tomorrow on the 13th. But again, since this is a pre-order, you got to make that decision now, so you can't wait to get your actual legitimate review numbers for the 5600 XT. And then of course my other question is just going to be cost. Are these maybe slightly shaved down versions of the RTX 2060s going to be on par performance-wise with the existing ones that people have been paying about $350 for? I don't know the answer to that question yet either. So for those of you who are maybe already looking at an RTX 2060 but were just on the fence based on the price, this might be a good deal for you that's going on right now. However, it is a limited time offer, and you would have to make that decision prior to the RX 5600 XT coming out. So I will leave that to your discretion whether or not you want to take the dive on that. That said, if you've got something like a G-Sync monitor already, then it's definitely one to go for. And something that I have been pointing out with the NVIDIA cards recently is they are cross-compatible, not just with G-Sync monitors now, but also all the FreeSync monitors. So you do get that support too. So guys, let me know down in the comments section what you think about this new RTX 2060. Are you excited for there to be even more graphics cards are now available in the $200 to $300 price range? I mean, I guess competition is always good, but I just hope it doesn't get too confusing. That said, it's now a lot easier to claw your way up from the GTX series to the RTX series with this launch, so I think that's a good thing overall. And also a good thing is for you to keep watching my CES coverage, because I do have more videos coming at you, so hit the thumbs up button on this one. Check out the playlist if you want to see all my videos that have already been uploaded. And a big thank you to my sponsors for CES 2020, MSI, Lian Li, Thermaltake, and Cooler Master. Thanks again for watching this video, guys. We'll see you in the next one.